Hey guys, welcome to another episode. In today's video, we're going to be working on this juniper. Alright, so as you might recall, or maybe not because that was 2 years ago, I worked on this tree from nursery stock. And as you can tell, it has put on some growth, not a whole lot, but that's also because I completely neglected this tree. I didn't exactly knew what to do with it because 2 years ago I had some expectation about this tree, wanting it to be a twin trunk. Maybe it could still have the possibility of doing so, but as I continue just to look at it and wondering exactly what I want to do with it, I think it's time for me to just take initiative and either start it back from scratch with a new design or just follow the same pattern that I originally intended for this tree back when I first styled it. So that's one of the beauties about bonsai, right? The fact that you can't always stick to one plan because branches die or you have more growth in one area of the tree and you actually like the growth, so you want to emphasize those aspects of the tree. This tree, its branches have not thickened enough for the primary branches because I still have the original wire in it, but as you might be able to tell, some of the wires actually got bent over, and because things fell on top of it or the tree got knocked down various times, but I completely neglected this tree. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started and see exactly what we can do to make this tree look a little bit better and possibly repot it at the same time. Alright, so the way I want to approach this tree is just get back to it at eye level, and I want to reconsider certain aspects of the tree. I sort of like the way that I kind of created 3 little pads right here, so stack upon each other. However, I like the way that this branch right here was elongated a whole lot. So as you might be able to tell, it actually originates from over here and then it drops down all the way down. Now that's one good quality of the branch because it kind of creates some sort of like depth when it's being paired with the one that is back here. I like the way that the movement it's set up on this trunk. However, I feel like this right here was actually too straight. If I could have gone back in time, I would have probably just interlocked it or created a little bit more movement right over here, but we can't do that. So let's play with this trunk a little bit over here. If we were to cancel out this whole entire side of the tree, it would look some sort of like this. I think that would be the front, and I'm guiding the front based on the Navari, which is not that visible right here, but the silhouette and everything looks really well. But I think at the same time I would probably add just a little bit of an angle right there. Now if I were to go ahead and cover the opposite side just like this, I would end up with this right here. The ramification on the bottom branches like this right here, it's already kind of set up, but then again it's kind of boring the way that the trunk is twisted right here, and quite frankly that's not a look that I would really go for. Perhaps maybe a few years ago I would be a little bit excited about it, but I want to try something a little bit more different. So let's go ahead and get a pencil and a piece of paper and redesign this whole entire tree. I would completely agree with the fact that I'm going to just go ahead and eliminate the whole entire side of the branch right over here. So moving forward, I'm going to go ahead and just start by removing this branch over here, getting ready for that big cut. Wow. Alright, so there's no going back. We removed the whole entire side of the tree. So what we're going to do now is that we're going to look at the diagram, and we're also going to look at the tree. We see the nice movement of the trunk, and we also see the branch that we are trying to correlate our eyesight towards it. but we're also trying to look at the angle of the tree, where we want it, and what branches are we going to be able to use for the design of the tree. Now the next step is that we're going to look into the wire here. As you can see, the wire was applied a little bit loose, so it's not necessarily biting onto the trunk or the primary branches just yet. So what I'm going to do is that we're just going to go ahead and reposition some of these branches and then clip off those that are unnecessary. Alright, so now we have our tree over here. So what we're going to do is that we're just going to go ahead and look for that specific front of the tree and the angle that would actually work for the design of the tree. So the trunk itself comes a little bit too straight over here, so we want to add a little bit of an angle just so that we can be able to, in sort of way, correct that brightness that there is right over here. And we can do that by simply tilting the tree a little bit to one side. I have this piece of wood right here. I usually work with wood, and I save the angles that are left over so that we can be able to just, work on these trees on the angle sides. And I feel like right here would be a good angle for the tree. This maybe being the front right over here. Now if we were to move to the other side, that right there itself looks a little bit off because it comes in this way and then it shoots back to the side and then it comes back right away. So it's not as pleasing as the other side is. But that right there looks a little bit better, and I feel like it's because of this piece of dead wood that is right over here. Okay, so now that we have our angle, what we're going to do is just work on these branches. I feel like this right here would be the front of the tree, right over here. So we want to work on this. We're going to go ahead and just bring down the branch just a little bit more and up at the same time. Luckily for me, some of these wires were already in place, and all we really had to do is just maneuver some of these branches to just end up filling in the rest of the tree. Alright, so now that I've worked on the primary branches, what I'm going to do is clean off the secondary branches and wire them so that we can refine this tree right here prior to being repotted. But for the sake of the length of the video, I'm going to go ahead and just speed up the process and show you exactly where we're left off. Alright folks, so here it is. I'm really content with the way that this tree looks. I feel like the other design that I had for it was a little bit overwhelming. So the next plan for it is that I'm going to go ahead and put it in a semi-shaded area, and I'm going to go ahead and wire the foliage probably twice a day so that I can prevent juvenile growth on this tree. Yeah, I hope you folks liked the video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up. Also comment down below what are your opinions about this tree, and I'll see you next time.